Hello everyone, welcome to Crafts by the Bow. Let's just check that I'm live. Oh yeah, there we are live. That was really fast today. Okay. It's not very straight though, is it? Let me just see if I can move the camera slightly. So just make it a little bit straighter. Let's see, is that any better? Marginally. Hi Laurie, how are you doing? Did you make your card yet from last week? I hope you got a chance to play with the things in the bag. I know your mum and your auntie were over, but I hope you got a bit of a chance. Good. Okay, so I'm going to show some of the things from the Paper Pumpkin kit. It came yesterday and I made like an unboxing video already and popped it on YouTube. It is such a pretty kit this month. And I know not everybody gets Paper Pumpkin, but I'm going to show you what's in and the cards that it makes. And then I'm going to show you how to make one of the cards if you haven't got Paper Pumpkin. So, oh, you're still busy. Now you've had your aunt, now it's your grandson. Oh, that will be so nice. Is he staying over as well? Is he sleeping over? Oh, you'll have such a lovely time. Okay, so I'm going to show you what's in the box. We don't always get fancy boxes like this. Sometimes they're the plain orangey red Paper Pumpkin boxes. When it's a special occasion, we get like a really fancy sort of box. And in the past, I've used them to put cards in for people, to put little gifts in. And, oh, 3 dogs. Oh, Laurie. And what I've done with where there's that like little sentiments and things, I put a little piece of paper over with maybe some stamping or something on. And then on here, I often just will put a card. So it's glued over the Paper Pumpkin piece. But it is a really, really pretty box. And it's all watercoloured. And the way these are designed, the Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, not demonstrators, the artists, they will watercolour a picture and then it's used for the graphics, for designer series paper, lots of things. Hi Jane, how are you? Nice to see you. So I'm just going to show the Paper Pumpkin and I'm going to make a couple of the cards and show you how you can make one of the cards if you don't have the kit even. Hi Janet, nice to see you too. I saw that you were wishing to be in Jamaica right now. If there's a space, I'd like to come too. Paper Pumpkin, if you don't quite know what it is, it's like a monthly kit. You don't have to get it every month. It's a Stampin' Up! Kit and everything you need is included in it. If it's your first one, they will give you one of these clear blocks as well. They're not quite as thick as the main blocks, but these are the kind that are in all of our kits. So if it's your very first Paper Pumpkin, they'll send you a block, but they expect you to use that for the rest of the time. And if you're not sure where to find Paper Pumpkin, in all of the catalogues, there will be a page that says about it. And you can pay monthly. In Canada, it's $32.50 and you just pay for the months that you want. I tend to get a subscription plan. And I usually get them during celebration because that means I can get the Paper Pumpkin and I might get a little discount if I buy the 6-month one or the 12-month one. But also I get free things from celebration. So I try to make my money go a little bit further that way. Excuse me. So there's always a piece in whatever catalogue you've got. There's always how to get them. And it says that you can, month to month, pay as you go, suspend or cancel at any time, which is perfectly true. But with the prepaid ones, you can also suspend them. Next month, I won't get mine because it's going to be the October one, and I'm going to be away when it would be delivered, so I'm not getting it. But I'm just sort of rolling it over for another month. Okay, so does anybody here get Paper Pumpkin? I'm not sure. Oh, let me just catch up. You're going to visit your grandson, Jane? Oh, he's never won. I thought you meant you were just going to go see him. How can he be one already? Wow. Driving to Guelph. Is that far from you, Jane? I don't really know. I mean, I know where the two places are, but I don't know how long that would take. Okay. So here are the instructions, and it always shows you which cards you can make. Everything's in colour. Everything's there that you need. And then I've already decimated my box, but I will show you what's left in it. 2 little colour spots. I don't tend to use these, I tend to use the bigger ones that I already have. Labels, all the little cutouts that you need. Dimensionals. Card fronts. This is the envelope. So it's much too pretty to be an envelope. So I've actually chopped one of them up, and I'll show you what I did with it in a moment. But they're absolutely stunning. This was a free gift. It's 8 pieces of like a honeycomb die cut. Or 6 hours door to door. Oh, that's not so bad, is it? It's like a gold foil. That's the rest of the envelopes. And then the card bases, oh, it has the little glue dots in as well, but you know, I don't usually tend to use these. I use the ones on the roll. So there were 3 of each. So 3 of this one, and when you fold it, it's designed on the back as well. Now, I would probably cut a lot of these down and use it as 2 card fronts. This green one, and then this one. And it's always wrapped in tissue. That's why there's this tissue at the bottom. So I'm just going to pop the, oh, I'm going to leave this one out. I need this one. Okay. And then this is about the upcoming Paper Pumpkins. September's will be October holidays. October and November will be holiday themed. One, I think, is going to be cards, and one is going to be tags. I always get the cards one. So, oh, and that's a little bit about your free gift and how to make a different layout for one of your cards. Okay, so yeah, aren't they nice, Jane, those envelopes? Honestly, it's just too nice to be an envelope. Not that people don't deserve a lovely envelope, but no, I don't want to give them a really, really good envelope if I could make 2 cards out of it. So the cards that it makes are these ones. And for the set that I made for my unboxing on YouTube, I actually kept the whole card base as it is. So this is the first, and then this was the second one. This is a whole layer, so I didn't have to put anything on it apart from the little bumblebees and the sentiment. So 2, and then this was the third one. So again, it's all pre-printed. All I had to do was press the die cuts out and stick them on. And remember I said about that envelope? This is what I did with the first half of my envelope. So that's this front piece. And on your envelope it goes landscape, but I actually liked it, portrait. I thought it looked quite nice. And I used the stamp set that comes with it to make the flower, well, the sunflower and the leaves. And then I just used an extra one of the little labels because there are extras in there. So, and I put a little tiny scrap on the inside, And I've now got this piece left and this piece. And I think I might cut this one down to 2 inches, just straighten it up and put it like on the side, maybe on the side here, to make a card front like that. So they really are such pretty cards. And I'm going to use this card base and I'm going to use this side. I'll save this side for a different card, but I want to use this side. And one of my gold foil pieces. I've already cut a little piece out for one of them, but I'm going to use this too. So let's find all the pieces we need. Where did I put my card base? Did I put it back? Oh no, here it is. Forget my head one day if it's loose. Okay. So I'm just going to cut this in half for now. I'm not using this side yet, but I will use it. So I'm going to put this one back in the box. Isn't that pretty just on its own as a card front? Even just with a little sentiment here. And then this will become my actual card, and I'm going to do a base of Mossy Meadow. And I chose Mossy Meadow because it said that was one of the colours. It always tells you the colours on the back. Oh, let's find the back. Always tells you the colours. Blackberry Bliss, Crushed Curry, Evening Evergreen, Melon Mambo, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Pumpkin Pie and Soft Suede. So I chose Mossy Meadow. It's just a plain half, and of course this is now the same size, but I want to put a layer underneath it. So I've got a scruffy quarter here that I've torn off. I think I was maybe making a card and I didn't like the front, so I've torn the back off. So I'm just going to trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4. So what's everybody making this week? Are you all crafting? Okay, and then this piece is going to go on the top, and I'm going to make it just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the, what colour yellow is that? Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to make it 3 7/8 and 5 1/8. Oh, let me see, which side do I want it cut up? Yeah, I'm going to cut this side off. So this will leave just a teeny weeny little border. Laurie's making a birthday card for her daughter-in-law. Nice. What are you making it like? You're going to use that card that we learnt to make last week? It's not pink. What's not pink? What's not pink? I know you like pink, Laurie. Oh, is the card not pink? Jane's finishing up birthday cards and thank you cards. Oh, okay. All right, so our base is now going to be like this. Okay, so this yellow is just going to pick out this yellow here and the Melon Mambo. Okay, I don't need to cut anything else. I'll pop that down for a moment. I will need a piece for the inside. Let's pop that in. And Janet's trying to finish Jane's grandson's birthday card. Wow. It's all birthday cards this week. I made my nephew's birthday card this week. And I've got a couple of cards that I'm making for September birthdays. Okay, I'm going to add this on while we're gluing. It's just going to have that little 1/4 inch border. Okay, but I'm not going to glue this one on just yet. Okay, so I showed you that I'd cut a little bit out of here, and this is the shape I cut. Just sort of an ovalish shape. I cut the edge off and made this. So I wanted it to look like the little vellum ones that we got in the box. Let's put that on the top. Here they are. Oops. I wanted it to look like these. So I sort of roughly did the same shape. The honeycomb is a little bit larger than the vellum ones, but honestly it was so easy to do. Laurie's going to make the card for the end of the week, the one that we made last week, and I gave her the little pack to make them with. Nice. Let's just make this. I'd actually like it just a little bit longer, so I'm just going to roughly put it on here and cut round. I'm going to cut it sort of quickly first and then trim it up. Okay, let's see. Now I don't want it to look like a square, so I'm going to take a few bits out. Let's make it go around here. Ooh. And this bottom piece, it looks a bit too sort of regimented. So I'm going to take a couple of bits out. Okay, so that's a bit of a better size. And then to do the little sunflower that I want, I'm going to use one of the pre-made die cuts and the stamp set. Let me find, here's the stamp set that goes with it. So you can see you get, you know, quite a few leaves and flowers, 2 more little bees and a few sentiments. So I'm going to do the sunflower on here. And this morning I had the hardest time trying to match these up. Oh, I love that you're getting your grandson already into card making, Laurie. Good for you. I'm going to see if there's an easier way. Oh, look at that. I bet that's how it goes. This morning I couldn't get it to line up for toffee. And now there it is. Okay, right, I'm going to leave that there. Put that there and put it on my block so I can remember that that's the top. And I've got soft suede to stamp with and crushed curry. So I'll do the centre with the soft suede, and the crushed curry I'm going to do the outline here. Let me just pop a little piece of paper down and try not to move that too much. There we go. And it sort of gives you just the outlines of the petals. I hope I haven't just got my head stuck in the way. Oh, I don't even know if that even matches up now. It looked so good a moment ago. Well, I'm going to go with this, and if it doesn't match up, I'm not really bothered, because it will still have some lines, and it's not perfection, but hey ho, it's my card. And then I need the little centerpiece. One of the days I'll find out where that does actually match up, and then I'll stamp it properly. This is just going to go in the middle. Okay, let's pop that one down, and then we'll leave it to dry. I'm going to need to do a little bit of stamping on my card base too. I've taken this little sprig-like leaf out, and I'm going to stamp a little bit on here. And I'm going to use my soft succulent if I've got it out. No, I haven't. I've got Evening Evergreen out, so I'll just do that and stamp off. It's nearly the same. Yeah, the sunflowers are really pretty, aren't they? Do you have the bigger sunflower set, Laurie? Because I'm going to show how to make some of these cards with the bigger sunflower set. Let's see. I think I'll just stamp off once. I just want to put a couple of sprigs over here. I'm not worrying about where they're going. Oh, I only did half one there. No, stamp off again, and I might just do a little piece behind there like this. Okay, yeah, I'm not worrying too much. I just want a little bit of a, you know, like an extra depth of colour, really. Okay, that's all I'm putting on. Okay. Now my gold little piece is going to go over here, and my sunflower is going to go over here when I work out which way around it goes. Maybe like this. And I'm going to use one of the cutouts with the little red flowers on and pop this behind up here. Pop this piece over here. And then I've taken out one of the labels, and I've taken out the pink and yellow one just because this matches. I'm going to add it across here like this. Okay, so let's move those one at a time so I know what I'm gluing down. And I'm going to find my glue dots. No, you don't have the sunflowers? Okay. The sunflower set's been out for a couple of years. I think this is its second year. Okay, just putting two pieces down. I've got these glue dots. They are the stickiest glue dots I've ever had. And it's like trying to get them off your finger is a work of art. Okay, so let's pop some on the back of these and pop these down next. Oh, I'm going to put one on the back of that flower there. And I'm going to glue these down flat. I don't need this popped up. I just want it to be over here. I'm not worried that I'm covering over some of that greenery either. Okay, now this one I'm going to pop, do you know, I'm going to make some of the leaves for this as well. Let me just find a little scrap and the leaf. I think I could do with just a couple of the thicker leaves. And I don't want to stamp them in colour, so I'm going to do them with my Versamark. Let's pop that on there. This. Now for those of you who do subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, the refills and extra kits are usually out, I think it's the first Monday after the 20th of the month. I think that's when it is. Sometimes there will be full kits, sometimes there will just be refills. And if it's a refill, it means it's everything except the ink and the stamp set. So if it's a kit like this that, you know, you fall in love with and you're a subscriber, then a refill is great because you've already got your stamps and your ink, more than likely. If you're not a subscriber, if you subscribe, you can then get past kits and refills if they're available in the Stampin' Up store. My daughter-in-law is, I often buy her a subscription, you know, like for maybe one or for two kits, or three even, for presents, but she always gets the Christmas kit and she makes her cards with that. And I don't know if you remember last year, it was that lovely green plaid with the Christmas trees and the Noel on in red. It sounds hideous, doesn't it? But it was so pretty. I made lots of cards with that. I think I ended up with 3 boxes, and I really should have ordered more because I make all my, you know, my cards for work and everything, and I was making kits of cards as well, and it is so easy. What I like also is it gives you lots of ideas about different layouts. So if you're thinking, you know, what could I do with this card this week? Just look through your old paper pumpkins. Or even if you don't have paper pumpkins, look online, look on Pinterest and places like that, because the layouts are really, really clever. Okay. There we go. I don't know if I want 3 leaves, but I've got them anyway. I'm going to get dimensionals. Let's put some of those on. Take these backings off. And then we're going to stamp a sentiment. I don't know where my leaves are going to go yet. So I'm popping this down, but I know that I can, you know, like just push my leaves in behind. Let's find that sentiment. And I'm going to use the thank you sentiment. The hello one would be pretty though. No, I'll use this one. So I've got this one out now. Let's find a block that doesn't have anything on. Let's take that leaf off. And where's the soft suede? Do you have to be a subscriber to get the refill? Yes, you do, Jane. You do. Because it matches your email and it matches to see that you're a subscriber. Now, some of the time we can cash and carry paper pumpkins and kits and things. So if you know that you want a kit a particular month, you can, you know, order for collection from me. How else can you do it? I think that's the only way you can get the refill kits. But I could talk to you about that another time too. You could always make a plan. Okay, let's take these off. And sometimes, you know, if it's a set that I haven't bought and I found that actually I really like it, I just get the refill kit and I will use sentiments that I already have and my ink that I already have. See if that's level. Yeah. So you don't always need to have all of it. Let's just see. I just wanted to have, you know, I might not even like these extra leaves now. Just wanted to sort of have a little bit of a darker green as well. But I really just like that. I don't even think I need anything else. I might just put those in. I'll put them in now that I've stamped them and cut them out. I'll just put 2 of them. Okay. Now, in the box, there are the little bees. And there are lots of extras. So you can, put the little bees on here as well. Let me find, some go one way and some go another. So there we go. And for those I need the smaller dimensionals. So let's have a little look for those. There they are. I knew they were in there somewhere. Okay, let's pop them on the back of these little bees. Yeah, you don't need all the extras every time. You're exactly right. And sometimes it's handy to have the stamp set that goes with it, or the ink. Especially, I got a lot when I was starting with Stampin' Up, because I didn't have a lot of Stampin' Up, the full-size stamp sets, and I wanted to have lots straight away, of course, and I couldn't. So I got a lot of the paper pumpkins and I started getting the kits, because they're a good size and there's lots of variety, you know, and sometimes you want just one particular thing. You might have a lot of Christmas images, but you need new sentiments. So I always get the Christmas ones, and so I've got a really nice collection of those now. Okay, oh, that's really pretty. Let's pop this onto the back of the our card base. I was going to say on the back of the card. I didn't want it on the back of the card, but I do want it on the back of the card base. I'm going to put a piece across here too. Okay, so that's my card, my different card, just using a half of that card base. Oh, I stuck it on upside down, look. I'm just going to take that off and I'm just going to stick it the right way. Okay, right, let's put it this way up. Oh dear me. There we go. Let me just get a little block and just cover that. There we are. Nobody knows that I stuck it on upside down now. You could even stamp on the inside as well. Now, if you don't have this set, thanks Janet. It's so easy to make when you've got everything pre-prepped, isn't it? If you don't have this set and you do have another sunflower set, then I'm going to show you how to make the same card, but of course you won't have any of those bases, so we'll make the base as well. So I have this set as well. This sunflower is really quite big. So see, it will be too big for this card, but the smaller sunflower will be just perfect. So I'm going to try and recreate this whole card using this different set. So yeah, I didn't check, Jane. Good job I checked in the end. Okay, so to make this piece, it's like a watercolour effect. I am a horrible watercolour. I'm really, it's not my forte at all, doing watercolouring. But I have made this card doing my own watercolouring. So I knew roughly how this was going to look. And so I made one just before we started. That's why I was a minute or two late, because I was just tidying away my desk. So I'm going to show you how to do this kind of watercolouring and how to do the same little banners. I don't have little bumblebee pieces like this. I do have the butterflies and I do have the trinkets with the bumblebees. So I'm going to make this card from scratch. We haven't got this honeycomb in a die. Well, I haven't got it, but I do have a different die that I'm using. So let me show you. I've already made a piece of watercolouring because it takes a long while to dry. So this is going to be my watercolour for this card, but I'll show you how to make this. As I said, total disclaimer, I am not a great watercolorer. I'm going to get my little pad. I'm going to get my little cloth, my little pad of paper towel, and I'm going to make it on top of my silicone mat. Okay, right, and you can use either shimmery white cardstock, which is a little bit thicker, and it's not quite a watercolour paper, but it stands up to water better than just the basic white card, and it's got a few tiny silver dots in. You can either use that or you can use watercolour paper. Now, I'm going to use a small piece of watercolour paper, and I'm going to use my water pens, and I only have two that are filled with water. I have the really fat one and the really thin one, and I haven't got this one filled, so ordinarily I would use this middle-sized brush, but that's not what I'm using right now, so we'll go in with what we've got. Okay, so I've got those ready. I need some ink, and it said on the instructions that it was melon mambo and crushed curry. Well, this is crushed curry and this is melon mambo, and this is much more pink. than theirs. So I'm carrying on making it in the pink, but I think I'll probably use something like the Fresh Freesia, something a little bit paler. But because I've already made this one, I'm going to do this on the same. Okay, so got my Melon Mambo. We are our own worst critics, but I want it to look like the professional one. So, and you know, mine's not going to. So I'm going to use my 2 little blocks, and I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on. So this is my crushed curry. Might need some more, but that's all I'm putting on for now. Oops, and then my Melon Mambo too. Okay. And we did watercolouring in one of our 6-month classes that Laurie comes to, and it's going to be a bit like that class, Laurie, in that we're just going to use our watercolours like this. Some people will squash their lids into their ink and then open it, and you will have ink here. I don't like that. It just doesn't work for me. But you will see lots of demonstrators do it that way. Let's just close that up now. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to use the wider pencil first. The wider paintbrush. And I'm only going to squeeze it to get some water out. And I'm going over the whole of the card. Now this dries really fast. So you'll find that you need to keep putting a little bit more water on. And I'm going to get my narrower one. And I'm going to squeeze a couple of drops of water onto my block. Move it round a little bit. And then you don't paint, you just sort of splotch. I don't know quite what the word is. I think they use pounce as the word, but pounce to me doesn't mean this. It means, you know, like a cat jumping. Okay, so I'm just going to do some bits that are a little bit darker. Okay, that's as much as I want of that. So I'm just going to clean my brush on here. Squeeze it through so that you get everything off the bristles. Okay, then I'm going to lay that back down. You see how it bends? You just have to keep pushing it down. I need some more water already at the bottom. So where I'm going to put the pink. So I'm just going over that again. You can go back and add bits more colour in. Okay, I'm going to drop a few drops of water on here. Wiggle it round and then just, oh, that was pretty. I like that. Just going to put a few bits on. And can you see how this isn't moving? That means it needs more water. And you can do it with this and squeeze, or you can squeeze the water out of here a little bit too. That's what I didn't want though, like a manufactured piece. There we go. Okay. And this is just going to run a little bit. There we go. And then just get a little bit more of your pink. Make some bits just a little bit darker. And then it will take quite a while to dry. Oh, yeah, blocks always work better, Laurie. We found that at class, didn't we? You and I. We were the only two, I think, that used blocks ordinarily. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that to dry. It will take maybe a couple of hours to dry properly. So don't ever throw out any of your pieces that you have a try with, because I'll show you what else you can use them for. I'm just going to put the lids back on these and out of the way. If you know any great tips for watercolouring, ladies, don't be shy to pass them on. Okay, so I'm going to move this. There we go. And I'm going to go to the one that I made previously, just because it's dry. Now I need to cut it down so that it's the same size as my one here. And I'm going to need a base of Mossy Meadow, and I don't know that I got any more out, so let me get the Mossy Meadow out. There might be one in here already. Let's have a look. Just check. So this is 5.5 by 8.5. Yeah, we can use that one. And then I need a piece of Daffodil Delight. Just for my layer. I don't think I have a layered piece. And that's already folded. So I'm just going to cut another one. I could use my heat gun. You're right, Janet. I could. But I find that if I've got a lot of water, it moves the water around a lot. And I get sort of a different pattern. And also, I can't be bothered to go get up and go get it. So that's the honest reason. But you could use your heat gun. You're exactly right. Oops. Let's chop this down. So it's a full quarter, and then we'll make it smaller. So I know that we made this 1/4 inch smaller. So we're going to make it 5.5 by 4. Okay. And let's score this one at 4.25. I'll just check. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this piece down. And remember, I made it just 1/8 inch smaller. So I'm going to actually keep some of this yellowy at the bottom. I like that yellowy at the top though. Let me see, how much do I have to chop off? Oh, I'm going to chop a little bit at each side, just a little. I need to make it, instead of being 4 inches, I need to make it 3 7/8. Because this one was 4, and so I'm going to go down just 1/8. I tend to make these a little bit bigger than I need, and then you can sort of eye up and see which bits you like best. So now I need this to be 1/8 inch smaller than the 5. Cut that at 5, didn't I? 5.25. So good job, I checked. So I'm making it 5 1/8. Okay. Thanks, Janet. Oh dear. She said it was fair enough that I wasn't going to get up. Okay, and so we're going to attach this to here. Little yellow border, and it's not very big, but it just makes the yellow pop. Let me just excuse my reach. Just going to go over with this bone folder. This one makes it lovely and flat by just doing the ends. There we go. Okay, so this one can go on the front. And we can sort of put the pieces together with it already on the card. It's not going to hurt anything. Let's fold this in half. I'm checking which way it opens, Jane. And it goes that way. I'm thinking for September I might have a theme for all of my cards and all of my Facebooks and YouTubes. And I think I'm going to do masculine cards all month. I've counted up and I need 18 masculine cards between now and January. So I'm going to have a masculine theme month. What do you think? Are you happy with that? Do you think you could bear for me to make masculine cards all month? I could do just 2 weeks if that's better for you. But, It's not like I'm doing the same ones Janet does, where I have to do 150. So I could manage to do just 2 weeks, or I might do the month. Right, let me see, where did my card go? Okay. Now, because I didn't have any of this honeycomb, I used one of the new dies that I've just got, and it's called Split Card Textures. And I used this one, but actually this one will be just as pretty. So when you put these on and cut them out, you can see if this was a normal card front, you would have a space down here where you could maybe put an image or decoration and your sentiment. Or, you don't have to do it that way, but I just think it's really pretty. I love the effect it gives. So what I did was I ran that through a little piece of shiny gold card. Okay, so I've got this little piece. Let's put that one back. I haven't used it on any other cards yet because it only came last week. 18 masculine cards, yeah. Okay, shall we do all month? You're going to do it with me? I'm going to make masculine cards all month. Okay, now this was the little piece that I'd cut for here that was too small. So I'm just going to measure that. Look, I could do the whole of this. I'm just going to go round. And we can play about with it a little bit more once we've got it cut out. I like the way it sort of angles down, gets smaller over there. Okay, let's put that on one side. Now I don't want these very straight lines on it. And you can see on here, I actually had it on an angle and it didn't look quite so straight. So I'm just going to chop a few bits off. Let's chop that piece. This. And then I'm going to just make a wacky shape as I go along. I don't know how it's going to end up, and some of it will be covered over anyway. Oh, sorry, I'd forgotten to read comments. All month for sure. If you give a heads up on stamps or colours, I'll try and craft along with you. That would be wonderful. Okay, we'll have some where, how about I post the pieces I'm using, like I sometimes do, and then we can all craft together. Okay. Oh, I like that shape. I like that. And once it's on an angle, look, isn't that nice? Aren't I easily impressed with things? Okay, right, so next I need my little sunflower. And this one I made by, get a piece of paper, I made by colouring my stamp. So I use my Stampin' Write markers, which are just full of our ordinary ink. Okay, so I'm going to do my leaves first. And remember last month I did a few cards like this where I just coloured onto the stamp, straight onto the stamp, and then stamped. So that's the leaves done. And that was in Mossy Meadow. I've got the crushed curry for the petals. I'm trying to hold it fairly flat because it's a bigger area. So I should be able to hold it flat until I get near the leaves. It doesn't matter if you miss a bit. You can always use the pen afterwards and add those little details in, or not even. Just leave it as it is. Doesn't always have to be perfect. Okay. And then I've got my early espresso for the middle piece. Oh, that's a nice noise. Okay. I'm just going to pop it down on here and hold it for a second or two. Okay, right, it's a bit grubby brown colour. I wonder if I did that one in, oh no, I know what I did. Then I got my blender pen and I moved some of the colour around. I was thinking, oh, it's a bit dark looking, but that's why. Let's just get a little piece of scrap paper, clean that. Now can you see how that yellow is sort of getting to be a little bit lighter? It just moves about the ink on the blender pen. I just want a little bit. You see that little petal there, it hasn't got any yellow in it, so I'm just putting a little bit and then colouring. There we go. Okay, so I'll just clean this nib again and then we'll just do the brown. Okay, now if you didn't want to do it like that, if you wanted to actually colour, I have got some more that I stamped. I stamped these in crumb cake, and let's put it on this little scrap of paper, and I'm going to use my watercolour crayons. Let's find the colours we need. So this is the crushed curry. I think Mossy Meadows, I don't think, do we have Mossy Meadow? No, I don't think we do. Well, I don't. I might do the old olive green on this one. I've got the old olive green. And in here is early espresso, so let me see which one. Here we go. So if you wanted to colour instead, oh, just double check, yeah, it was crushed curry. Just colour like the bottom of the petals and where the lines are or the shading. You don't need to put an awful lot of colour on. I'm going to put a little bit of green on for my leaves. And then some early espresso, a bit right in the middle, and then a bit just around. See, just scruffy sort of colouring, but that's all you need. Got my blender pen again, and the alcohol in this will move the watercolour crayon around. If you find you need a bit more, instead of colouring straight on the card, just use your blender pen on here and it will work a bit like a marker for you. Okay, let's clean that off. Let's do this yellow now. You see how it just smoothly moves all this colour along. And when we were doing this for class, I remember, Laurie, you asked me if it would work with ordinary crayons, and I didn't try it out. Did you? I don't know if it works with ordinary colours, or if there's something special in watercolour crayons that makes it do this. Should try it. Okay, now a couple of these I'd like to be just a little bit darker, so you can either do it straight onto your blender pen or just colour over a little bit more, just like the very bottom of the petals, and then move it again. Okay, and then the brown I'm going to do round the outside first and then the middle. Okay, let's just move a little bit of that. There we go. And then to cut them out, I used the dies that came with the set, and it's this little piece here. Okay. Now I haven't got that one cut out, so I'm going to go with this one just because it is. If you wanted it to be sparkly, you could go over that with Wink of Stella, and that would make it all sparkly and nice. Now, for the sentiment, remember I said if you have a practice with these? Oh, Jane's saying she's tried it with regular pencils and the blender pen doesn't do much. Okay, thank you. Okay. Good night, Laurie. Good night to your grandson too. Have a lovely week with him. Take care. So, this was a piece that I was playing with to start with, and I decided that I would just cut the strip off to use for my little sentiment like this one. So I already cut another one off, and I used a sentiment out of this stamp set. So it has to be a little bit wider than the ones that I've made on this card. And then to make it a bit fancier, or a bit more fancy, maybe that's not a bit fancier, I'm going to leave, this side would go underneath, so I was cutting that straight. This side I want it to be a fancy shape. So I'm going to cut a little piece off, and I'm going to put it in this little punch. What is this little punch called? It's like pick a punch or pick a label. Oh. Pick a label, pick a punch. I don't know. Do you know, I can't think of anything at the moment. My head's gone totally wobbly. Let's see. Lovely labels, pick a punch. I was nearly right. I got labels and pick a punch. Lovely labels. Oh dear, I tell you. So when you open this, I find it easier to almost do it back to front. I want this cut, so I'm going to put it in through here, but I need to have it lined up. Let me turn it this way so that you can see it. I need to have it lined up so that I can see it's even here. So I close it a little bit and then just keep moving the paper till I know I've got it in the right place. Okay, let's see if this is going to fit on. Yeah, I think that'll fit on really nice. So let's start gluing these things down. You think it's the heat? Do you know, Jen, I'm not sure it's the heat. I'd love to agree with you, but honestly, I think I think it's my age or something. This is going to be covered over. Let me see, I'm going to make that go just like that. I'm going to put a little extra one in the middle there. You won't see it because I'm going to put that sentiment over. I think some days I do well to remember my name. This will go over here, and I'm going to put it on my dimensionals straight away actually, and put it on. Let's pop 3 on. I know I'm a long time today, but some days I don't get long to do my Facebook Lives, and so another day when I get a while, I like to just do a few extra bits. Okay, now for the leaves and things, because I don't have these pieces, I use the die cuts with this, and I cut out one of these and then one of these leaves. So I know I've cut them out. Just see, I'm just having trouble seeing where I left them. Where did I put them? And over here. I did them just before we started. No, I can't see them. They're hiding somewhere. I don't know where it is, so let's use some of our other leaves. I didn't put them in the box, did I? Just have a quick look. They'll be sat looking at me, mocking me, laughing. They're there. No, they're not in the box. Can you see them somewhere on my table? Because I can't. So let's quickly cut another couple out. Let me get some more. Okay. I know they're here somewhere. See what I was just saying about my brain? Let's take this little scrap out. I've got the one soft succulent piece, so I know the others are here. But they're not in eye level. Pop this on. I'm going to use this. Let's find the die. And I use the double one. Pop that through there. There we go. Put this out of the way. I'm sure you'll all be able to see where those leaves are. Okay, let's pop these back here. So I'm going to have these just over this side, and let's pop a glue dot on them. As soon as you cut these, yeah, they will. They'll make an appearance probably as soon as I turn the camera off. So, and they'll sulk because I haven't used them. Okay, I'm sticking that on with the one glue dot. I like these to sort of stick out a little bit and look a bit more 3D. I've got this little green one too, but I might not even put that one on. Let's see. Actually, I do like that though. I'm going to pop it up there like that. So I'll pop that one on a glue dot as well. Little gluey dot. There we go. And some dimensionals on here. I don't want any on the leaves because it's going to overlap there, so I only need them at the other side, just near the floral image, not the leafy part. Okay, now last of all, on this one I put the little butterflies, those little brass butterflies, but if you have any of the bumblebee trinkets, you could use those as well. So let's take this off. I'm going to put the little bumblebees on because I like them. So see, I might just put two on. And again, I'm going to put a glue dot underneath them. And one on my last little butterfly, no, my last little bee. And there we are. So that was my alternative one, using all the pieces from the kit. And let's pop that one away. Here's my extra one for today. I'm going to have to glue that little piece down, I think, just because it's sticking up and making my leaf stick up. So I'll just pop a little tiny bit of liquid glue behind here and make it stick down. So there we are. That's my two. Those bumblebee trinkets are cute, you're right. So I've only got a few left now, but they are pretty cute. You can also colour them. You can colour them with blends, or probably even the Stampin' Right markers. You can go over them and make them a little bit darker if you wanted. So there we are. Even if you haven't got the paper pumpkin kit, if you've got any kind of sunflower kit, you could certainly make something very similar. Okay, ladies, thank you for bearing with me. I will see you all again next week, and I'll start to think about September, and we'll make your masculine cards. Oh, thank you, Jane. Thank you so much. Even with my watercolouring. Thanks, everybody. Take care and have a great week. Bye-bye.